Regardless of anyone's opinion, Stephen A. Smith is one of the loudest voices in sports media.
Who might be the greatest defender, top defender in the history of the NBA.
But behind the catchphrases and hot takes lies a deeper truth. The NBA world just doesn't respect him anymore, and the fall didn't happen overnight.
But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players.
Today, we're diving into the rise, reign, and unraveling of the man who went from respected journalist to the league's most polarizing megaphone.
After that situation,
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit.
Before the suits, before the viral meltdowns, before the world knew the name Stephen A. Smith, there was just a scrawny, fast-talking kid from Hollis, Queens, who truly believed that basketball was going to save his life. For Stephen A., the game wasn't just a sport, it was his identity, his lifeline, a way out. His friends dreamed of rap deals or street respect. Stephen dreamed of buzzer beaters, and he was good, not elite, but good enough to get noticed. That notice came in the form of a scholarship offer to Winston-Salem State University, a historically black college led by the legendary coach Clarence Big House Gaines. This wasn't just any coach. Gaines was a titan, a Hall of Famer who had mentored generations of players, molded young men into professionals, and commanded respect wherever he walked. So imagine the pressure when young Stephen stepped into that gym for his tryout. No cameras, no audience, just squeaky sneakers and judgmental eyes. Coach Gaines wasn't impressed with the dribbling, the passing, or the warm-up drills. He blew the whistle, called Stephen over. "Didn't they say you could shoot?" "Yes, sir." "Then goddamn it, shoot the basketball." Stephen took the ball and unloaded. He hit one, then another, then another. 17 straight three-pointers without a miss. No hesitation, no nerves, just fire. Right there, Coach Gaines handed him a scholarship. It was like a scene from a movie. The underdog wins, dreams validated, fade to black, but real life doesn't work like the movies. Stephen A. played one game, just one. A freak accident during practice shattered his kneecap, cracked it clean in half. He was done before his story even started. The game he thought would save him had just betrayed him brutally and without mercy. The doctors patched him up with a 6-inch screw in his knee, but no screw could hold together a broken dream. His stats, 1.5 points, 1 game, that's it. Just like that, the basketball dream was dead. He could have given up, most would have. Instead, Stephen turned his frustration into fuel and his voice into a weapon.
One-on-one. Why would you say something so blasphemous?
in my heyday, he would need help.
Really?
While still on the team, limping on the bench, he picked up a pen and started writing for the school paper. And he didn't hold back. One of his first opinion pieces, he called for Coach Gaines, the same man who gave him a scholarship, to retire, said he was too old, said health concerns were affecting the team. Let that sink in. A barely known benchwarmer calling out a legend at his own school. Stephen A. was loud before he had a mic, controversial before he had a camera, and fearless before the world was watching. It wasn't about clickbait back then, it was conviction. He believed what he said, and he was willing to risk everything to say it. That fearless voice didn't fade after graduation, it only got louder. He started climbing. First, the Winston-Salem Journal, then the Greensboro News and Record, then the New York Daily News, one byline at a time, one controversy at a time. He wasn't just writing recaps, he was digging into locker rooms, exposing dysfunction, questioning decisions that others were too scared to touch. But it wasn't until the Philadelphia Inquirer that Stephen A. really broke through. At 26 years old, he became one of the youngest black beat writers covering the NBA full-time. He was assigned to the Philadelphia 76ers just as a brash, fearless rookie named Allen Iverson entered the league, and that's when everything changed. Stephen A. and AI connected instantly. Their bond wasn't casual, it was rare, unspoken, personal. Reporters weren't supposed to be friends with players, but Stephen A. didn't care about the rules. Iverson gave him unprecedented access, behind-the-scenes info, raw emotion, unfiltered quotes. "There's no way I'd be here today without Allen Iverson," Stephen once admitted. While Iverson was shaking up the league with cornrows and crossovers, Stephen was writing his story in real time. With every suspension, fine, or feud, Stephen A. was first to report it. He wasn't just covering the NBA anymore, he was shaping the narrative. And that's what caught ESPN's attention. They didn't just see a reporter, they saw a rising voice, a unique energy, a black journalist who didn't fit the quiet, polite mold, who argued, challenged, and demanded to be heard. They gave him a seat at the table, and just like that, the kid from Queens who couldn't stay on the court was now on the biggest stage in sports media. But what no one realized then was this: the very thing that made him successful, his fire, his ego, his defiance, would eventually lead to the reason why the NBA doesn't take him as serious like they once did. In the beginning, Stephen A. wasn't just another talking head. He was respected, known for his insider info, locker room scoops, and thoughtful analysis. His reputation was built on substance. When ESPN gave him his own show, quite frankly, it looked like he was becoming the next big thing in sports talk, but the show didn't last. Audiences weren't ready, or maybe the timing was off. It was canceled after just 2 years. Still, Smith's larger-than-life personality wasn't going away. ESPN kept him in the spotlight, featuring him on SportsCenter, Pardon the Interruption, and eventually the show that would define him, First Take. But something changed. As First Take gained traction, so did the volume, the in-depth reporting. It faded, replaced by fiery takes, dramatic pauses, and meme-worthy meltdowns.
Because if it comes out of my mouth, and I sit up there and I literally articulate the stuff that this man has done, y'all smoking crack. Something is wrong with you people. What the hell has this world come to? You know, you people are getting on my nerves. You're getting on my nerves. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're getting on my damn nerves.
Suddenly, it wasn't about being right, it was about being loud. The shift worked for views, but inside the NBA community, respect started to erode. Players who once saw him as a journalist began seeing him as an entertainer, a provocateur, and one by one, they started calling him out. In 2015, Stephen A. speculated that Kevin Durant might leave Oklahoma City. KD didn't just disagree, he nuked the claim. "I don't talk to Stephen A. at all," Durant said publicly, so he's lying. That moment wasn't just a disagreement, it was a line in the sand. Smith fired back, but the damage was done. The credibility he once had with players was now in question. And when Durant joined the Warriors, becoming arguably the league's biggest villain, Stephen A. delivered one of his most infamous lines, "The weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar."
How are you viewing this move from Durant?
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple. That's just how I look at it.
The feud snowballed. Even KD's mother confronted him live on First Take, yet the tension never truly died.
I thought that was quite harsh. And it's like, who are you, Stephen A., to come at my boy like that? You know, and I think about, like, when he came to ESPN, was that a weak move for him?
If there's one moment that symbolizes Stephen A's descent from respected journalist to enemy of the players, it's his ongoing war with Kwame Brown. Calling Brown a bona fide scrub on national TV wasn't just harsh, it was personal. Stephen A didn't stop at First Take. He went on speaking tours, colleges, podcasts, mocking Brown's game, his hands, even his feet. For years, Kwame stayed quiet until he didn't.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball.
Stephen A, you bald forehead, people thinking you tough. Saying all kind of shit like, oh, then you come see me. Well, let's go to Seattle and you sign away. Well, Seattle, you ain't got to sign no way.
Brown launched a YouTube channel and unleashed years of pent-up fury. His rants weren't polished, but they hit hard. Millions watched as Kwame clowned Stephen A, accusing him of building a career on tearing down black athletes. It wasn't just a viral moment, it was a wake-up call, and it made many fans wonder, had Stephen A crossed the line one too many times? In 2016, Stephen A. Smith got a new partner on First Take, Max Kellerman. At first, it seemed like a match made in sports debate heaven. Max brought stats, logic, and nuance. Stephen A brought fire, conviction, and showmanship. But over time, it became obvious, too obvious. Max was winning the debates. Clips began circulating where Max would calmly dismantle Stephen A's arguments with facts. Fans took notice. Some even claimed Max made Stephen A look like the sidekick on his own show, and that's when the rumors started. Behind the scenes, tension grew. Eventually, Stephen A went to ESPN execs and allegedly gave them an ultimatum. If Max stays, I leave. Within hours, the decision was made. Max was out. No farewell from Stephen A, no public gratitude, just gone. To many, this wasn't just a professional split, it was ego. Stephen A wasn't interested in co-hosts who could challenge him. He wanted control. Stephen A's relationship with Kyrie Irving was once professional, even respectful, but that changed fast. During the pandemic, when Kyrie missed games and refused to get vaccinated, Smith went on one of his most aggressive tirades ever. Kyrie Irving should retire. That sentence hit like a grenade. Kyrie fired back, not just at Stephen A, but at the entire media. He accused them of speaking without understanding, of attacking his character without knowing the facts. But it didn't stop there. Stephen A kept going, mocking Kyrie for opting into his $36 million contract and accusing him of not wanting to show up to work. The beef got so personal, Kyrie even dragged his own father into it, saying, "My uncles can meet you on your level better than I can." Eventually, the two crossed paths at a Lakers game. Kyrie tapped Stephen A on the back and asked, "Still got that same energy?" Stephen replied, "I'm standing here, ain't I?" But in a rare moment of reflection, Stephen A later admitted something powerful. Kyrie had to be the adult in the room. We should have never let it go that far. With Max gone, Stephen A regained full control of First Take, but his dominance didn't last long when JJ Redick, the former NBA sharpshooter, joined the show and quickly started dissecting Stephen A's basketball takes with surgical precision. No shouting, no drama, just cold, hard facts. In one viral moment, Stephen A criticized Jimmy Butler's shooting. JJ calmly corrected him with stats. Another time, Stephen questioned Giannis's jump shot. JJ hit back with league averages and shooting zones. Fans started compiling JJ owns Stephen A videos. One lasted 17 straight minutes. Even ESPN viewers began asking, why is JJ always right and Stephen A always yelling? Unlike past feuds, this wasn't emotional. JJ wasn't attacking Smith personally, he was just doing what Smith used to do, showing up with facts, and that's what made it sting even more. But if there's one line Stephen A should never have crossed, it was fatherhood. When Bronny James had a rough game, Stephen A critiqued more than just the stats. He critiqued LeBron as a father. He said, "Stop this."
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this.
We all know Bronny is in the NBA because of his dad. That moment sparked outrage. LeBron confronted Stephen A face to face during a game timeout. The NBA legend didn't threaten him, he warned him, "Mind what you say about my son." To make matters worse, Stephen A falsely claimed LeBron didn't attend Kobe Bryant's memorial. In truth, LeBron was there, he just asked to not be photographed. For LeBron, this wasn't just about basketball, this was about respect. And from that moment on, the gap between Stephen A and the NBA's biggest star grew wider than ever. Stephen A. Smith is still the face of ESPN. He's still on First Take, still racking up millions of views, but ask around the NBA and you'll hear something different. Players don't see him as a journalist anymore. They see him as an entertainer, a provocateur, someone who makes a living off their struggles, controversies, and pain. He's not in locker rooms, he's not at practices, he's not breaking stories like he used to, but he is still trending, still getting clipped on Twitter, still going viral. So maybe Stephen A doesn't need their respect, but deep down, you have to wonder, does he want it? Because somewhere between the truth and the takes, the man who once stood for real journalism got lost in the noise. And the NBA noticed Stephen A. Smith isn't done making headlines, not by a long shot, but the players, they're watching, and more than ever, they're ready to clap back. So don't be surprised if the next chapter in his saga starts with another NBA star calling him out. Subscribe and like the video for an update, because with Stephen A, the drama never tends to die down.